Someone please explain me what the fuck is this? Like this. What is this? This is pure autism. Like there's no other explanation for it. So I just wanted to do a quick update, a quick analysis on Bitcoin because today is December 4th and basically December started in a bonkers way. Like it just doesn't make any sense what I'm seeing here, but let's just try to start over. So obviously the first thing to notice is that there's very clearly a resistance support level around this area, around the 92k, something like this. As you can see, it's been going on for months. Like price has been bouncing constantly around this area, and essentially the few times where it just broke downwards or upwards depending on the situation, the movement was just brutal. Like see it here, it just went immediately down. Here as well, when it broke, it just went up to all-time highs. It's also been happening here, like towards mid-November. This was also a pretty brutal move as soon as it just went down and it broke the resistance. It's pretty clear that this area is very volatile, right? Because as we can see, there's been a lot of massive movements around here. But let's just zoom in a bit and look at the time frame between mid-November until today, 4th of December. So as you can see here, obviously mid-December, it just broke down the support. It just went massively down. This whole candle with this huge wick, which went down to 80k. But if we look at it on the 12 hours, it kind of bounced off the 82 level, something like this. So 92k basically flipped from a support to a resistance. And here, the first thought that I had was, okay, this is setting up to become a range between 82 and 92k. So I was thinking, perfect, fantastic trading conditions. We could like trade around here for a month or a couple of weeks at least. Especially if you see here around the 4 hours, it's better. You could see that here, once it just bounced off, it kind of grinded away towards this 92 level. It just tried to break it, but just it couldn't. It retraced it all back. And then it tried it again, retracing basically half of the candle. And this was a great signal that it just couldn't. It didn't have the momentum to go up anymore. On this other candle though, this is where I would have shorted, like the higher the better, somewhere around here or even at the candle close. And as you can see, it was a fantastic short. Like if you managed to short this, congrats, because this was easily a 7-8% move. Yeah, around 8%. Obviously very difficult to catch the whole movement down. As always, it's kind of difficult to predict. Probably I would have closed it somewhere around here because it was the first like kind of resistance level. But what actually caught me off guard was the movement of the past 3 days, because after such a violent move downwards, you wouldn't expect this to retrace it all back in the next 24 to 48 hours, which is crazy. Like as you can see, there was literally no indication whatsoever here that a bounce would come, and such a big bounce, because essentially from the 1st of December until basically yesterday, Bitcoin went up 12%. That's just an insane move, and it was so difficult to catch because essentially what's here, there's no specific level to just kind of figure out, okay, this is going to be a reversal. Now obviously you can see that this price is slowing down a bit. In fact, it's probably bouncing off this level around 93 to 94k, something like this. As you can see, it already bounced multiple times in the past. But still, this is quite difficult to tell if it's going to go up again, or it's just going to go back within that range. Also, one thing that I noticed was the interesting movement on the EMAs. So these two lines right here. So for those who don't know, EMAs are basically moving averages. So it's the average price within a certain time frame. Often it's like 50 days and 200 days. The 50 days is the blue line and the movement for the last 200 days is the red one. Now, EMAs are very popular indicators, like everyone uses them. They're not really an edge like when trading, so I couldn't exactly say that, okay, they're the perfect indicators to take some trades, but on especially on the higher time frames, they're great to kind of confirm your thesis where it is going up or down. And as a general rule of thumb, when the blue line, so the 50 EMA, is above the 200, you could see it especially on the daily, it means that we are on a bullish sentiment, it's a bullish market. And here on the daily, it's particularly well noticeable, because you could see the bullish market essentially started around 2023, and you can see the blue line never once went below the red one. So this was the whole bull market around here. But some of you might have noticed that here, for the first time in 2 years, the blue line went below the red EMA. Now, when this happens, this is commonly referred as a death cross, while it's the other way around, so like the blue one is going above the red one, it's a golden cross, so it's bullish. But in this case, it's bearish, and it doesn't look particularly great because this is daily, so it's a higher time frame. This kind of signals to me that we're entering in a bearish phase of the market. How long, I don't know. And if we go to the 12-hour time frame, you could see that the blue line is kind of at the same level as this resistance level around here, 92, 93K, which is exactly the same place where the price is currently struggling now. This is because EMA is, be it 50 or even better, the 200 one, oftentimes act as resistance support. So like you could expect some volatility around those levels. Now, if you don't have a clear idea of what trade to pick with Bitcoin in this period, honestly, I just don't blame you, because it's very difficult. When stuff like this happens, like these two candles here, the market tend to become a bit retarded. Like, let me give you a few examples. Like here, you could see that the market kind of acted the same way. This huge candle upwards, which even broke above the support for 92K. So you would expect, okay, perfect, breakout. I'm just going to wait for a retest, bullish signal, it's just going to long. And the next day, it just canceled the whole thesis because it just doesn't make any sense. And if you look at the next few days, actually probably the whole month, price didn't make a lot of sense, especially because of this movement, in my opinion. And you could see it multiple times here as well, this huge candle which just retraced. Even this one as well, huge candle, and it just immediately got cancelled by the next day. So in general, when this stuff happens on a daily time frame, I'm usually putting off from trading. Like, I just wait a couple of days to get some sort of signal to understand what to do. And in this case is no different. Like, for example, the next target, if we're talking about a long, would be obviously 100K. But for me to open a long, I would have to have some sort of signal, for example, a breakout above this level where it's struggling, a retest of this one, and then it just goes up. So in this case, I might try my luck, gamble a little bit, to be honest, but still open a long here and expect for 100K, or probably a bit less than 100K, because as you can see, the EMA 50 is below that one. And as I mentioned before, this usually acts as a support resistance level. So just to be safe, I would open a long up around this level here on the blue line. But again, I would need for a signal for some sort of breakout or retest to even hope for a long. Otherwise, let's just say that trading, for example, this range between 92 and 93.5K doesn't make a lot of sense. It's just pure gambling. So even for a short setup, I will wait a few days more, probably waiting for this level to break down again, hopefully a retest, because without a retest it's very difficult to open a short, just to be sure. So yeah, basically I wouldn't push my luck for the next couple of days. Let's just wait for a signal on BTC. Eventually we could look at other charts for the next few days. Maybe there's some setups to be done on ETH, XRP, or some other volatile pairs. If you have other ideas around what Bitcoin is going to do in the next couple of days, let me know in the comments. Subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you at the next video. Bye.